it correct to address you, Attorney May?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it'll be Attorney May and Attorney Christine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Call your witness, Attorney May.
Your Honor, we would like to call to the witness stand our sixth witness in the person of Mr. Lemuel G. Ortonio.
The clerk of court is directed through the OSA to kindly situate Mr. Ortonio at the witness stand. The clerk of court is directed to administer the oath to the witness.
Mr. Ortonio, please raise your right hand. You, Lemuel G. Ortonio, do swear that the evidence you shall give in the case now pending between the Philippines and Vice President SARA Zimmerman Duterte shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
Kindly place on the record, because it was inaudible, that the witness responded in the affirmative by saying yes. Attorney May, your witness for direct examination, kindly make the offer.
Yes, Your Honor, but before we proceed to our offer, Your Honor, we would like to just read for the record the matters that were already stipulated on, Your Honor, for avoidance of doubt.
You may do so, counsel. You may proceed.
So, first, that the witness, Mr. Lemuel G. Ortonio, is the Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff of the Office of the Vice President. Second, he holds the position of Assistant Secretary at salary grade 29. Third, his appointment is coterminous with the term of the Vice President. And fourth, his position is one of trust and confidence. May the defense kindly confirm if those are all the matters that you're willing to stipulate on. As well as, sorry, Your Honor, they're also stipulating on the authenticity and the genuine execution of the documents listed in paragraph 25 of the request for stipulation.
Attorney Christine?
Yes, Your Honor, subject to cross-examination.
Duly noted. Kindly proceed with your offer, Attorney May.
Your Honors, we are offering the testimony of Mr. Lemuel G. Ortonio to qualify him as a hostile witness and to prove the following. Number one, the confidential funds answered to no legitimate confidential purpose. The amount was requested before the supporting plan was produced, and the 2023 plan just repeated the operative language of the 2022 plan. Nauna ang 250 million, sumunod ang plano matapos itong hingin ng BBM. Hindi plano ang nagtakda ng halaga. Ang halaga ang nauna sa kahinabol ng plano. Number two, the respondent's handprints are on every document that mattered. Mula request hanggang liquidation, nasa mahalagang dokumento ang kanyang otoridad at pag-aproba. Number three, the reports were written to fit the rules, not the facts. 4 na ulat, iisang template, mga halagang hindi nagbabago at laging eksaktong 125 million, not a peso more, not a centavo less. Walang natira, walang isinauli. Number 4, 5 days after COA questioned the medical and food aid item, the line disappeared while the report still totaled exactly 125 million. Question ng Commission on Audit ang medical and food aid na may halagang 40 million, 42 million at 40 million sa tatlong unang accomplishment reports. Makalipas ang 5 araw, wala na ito sa huling accomplishment report. Pero 125 million pa rin ang kabuuan ng halaga. Number 5, in 2 years, not one area, Not one operation was ever named. Daang-daang area ang iniulat. 500 million ang ginastos. Ngunit wala ni isang lugar, ni isang operasyon, ni isang petsa ang pinangalanan. Number 6. The liquidation was late, irregular, and backdated. 10 buwan huli ang mga resibo. Mahigit 100 ang may petsang 1 taon pagkatapos ng di umano'y bayaran. Number 7. The certifications vouch for nothing and were signed by the man who received the money. Walang untoward incident. Iyan lamang ang pinatutunayan. Walang halaga, walang pangalan, walang lugar at walang petsa. At ang pumirma, ang mismong tumanggap ng pera. Number 8. The 500 million bought protection the Vice President already had. And against threats, the AFP and the PNP were already paid billions to watch. 473 sundalo at pulis na ang nagbabantay sa kanya. Sahod ng Republika mula sa ibang pondo. Walang pangalawang pangulo sa kasaysayan ang nagkaroon ng ganito. At ang mga bantang tinutukoy sa mga ulat, ang NPA at mga teroristang grupo. Sakop na ng intelligence funds ng AFP at PNP. Bayad na ang proteksyon, bayad na ang pagbabantay, bago pa ang kahit 1 piso ng confidential funds. Number 9. The justification for the confidential funds shifted with every finding. Sa DBM, safe implementation ng good governance programs, official engagements, and functional representation ng pangalawang Pangulo. Sa mga plano, confidence building for good governance programs at pagsapit ng 2023 socio-economic program delivery. Sa mga certifications, surveillance and information gathering to prevent untoward incidents from transpiring. Sa protective intelligence operations reports, for intelligence gathering naman. Sa mga sagot sa audit observation memoranda at notice of suspension for surveillance activities to determine where best to implement the OVP's programs. 6 na bersyon, iisang pondo. Number 10. The officials knew, answered nothing. The man who says he knew nothing answered everything. Lahat ng sagot sa COA, pirma ng testigong ito, na ang sabi wala siyang personal na kaalaman. Ang mga tunay na nakakaalam, ang Respondent Vice President, ang Special Disbursing Officer, at ang Colonel, wala ni isang sumagot. Number 11. The explanations for the confidential funds are a sham. And the failure to account the funds gives rise to the presumption of misappropriation. Pabago-bago ang paliwanag, walang detalye, walang dokumentong sumusuporta, pagtatakip, hindi pagpapaliwanag. At hanggang ngayon, hindi na-account ang 500 million ng bayan. Sa ganitong kabiguan, ang batas na mismo ang nagsasalita, prima facie, na ipinalalagay na ang pondo ay ginamit para sa sariling kapakanan. That would be all for Your Honor.
Comment, Attorney Christine?
Yes, Your Honor. We note that the 11 items that were mentioned by the prosecution are all conclusions of fact and law, Your Honor. And actually, they are mere speculations and conjectures, Your Honor, not being proven before this honorable court. And they are all theories and, with all due respect, sound bites, Your Honor. Nevertheless, we will cross-examine the witness to verify the allegations or to disprove the allegations of the prosecution. Thank you.
They may be statements of fact or law, counsel, but that's what they seek to prove. Through this witness, hopefully, by declaring him as a hostile witness in due time. Duly noted. Comment of the counsel for respondents noted. You may proceed with your direct examination, Attorney May.
Your Honor, before I proceed, we would just like to request for a continuing authority for our assisting counsel, Attorney Oliver C. Caido, to approach the witness and present and confront him with the necessary and relevant documents whenever we mention those documents. Your Honor.
Granted, as well as who would be the counterpart assisting counsel from the respondent, Attorney Christine?
Yes, Your Honor, Attorney David Gola.
And
Granted,
also-
insofar as both parties are concerned in regard to their respective assisting counsels who may approach the witness at any time during the direct and cross.
And also, Your Honor, we request a similar continuing authority for us to flash on the screen the relevant documents when mentioned for the appreciation of this honorable court and of everyone, Your Honor.
Granted likewise, including a similar grant rather with counsel for respondent should she desire to do so as well during her cross.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
You
Good
may
morning.
proceed, counsel, when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Ortonio.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Buntag. Good morning.
Okay. Mr. Ortonio, naiintindihan ko po na ikaw ngayon ay nagsisilbing Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff sa Office of the Vice President. Tama po ba?
That's correct po.
Okay. Kailan naman po kayo nagsimulang manungkulan bilang Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff sa Office of the Vice President?
I started working as the Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff last July 2022.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ortonio, at whose pleasure do you serve those positions?
I report directly to the Vice President, SARA Z. DUTERTE.
Okay. And prior to becoming Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff, saan naman po kayo nagtatrabaho kung meron man?
I used to work with the City Government of Davao as the head of the Human Resource Management Office.
Noong time po na yon na nagsilbi kayo na head ng Human Resource Management, sino naman po ang mayor nung panahong iyon?
The mayor at the time is the Vice President, Sara Z. Duterte.
And when did you serve as such, as head of the Human Resource Department of the City Government of Davao City?
I started working as the head of the Human Resource Management Office in 2018, starting 2018. Yes.
And kanino naman po kayo nagre-report nung nanunungkulan kayo bilang head of the Human Resource Department?
As the head of the Human Resource, as the department head, I report directly to the mayor and as well have reportorial duties to the city administrator.
Okay. And prior to that, Mr. Ortonio, ano naman po ang inyong naging katungkulan kung meron man sa City Government of Davao City?
Prior to being the human resource head, I also headed the Davao City Investment Promotion Center. That's from 2016 all the way to 2018 as well. And then in 2010 to 2013, I served as the Chief of Staff of the Office of the Mayor. And 2008 until 2010, I served as the Chief of Staff under the Office of the Vice Mayor.
Okay. Isa-isahin po natin. Nung nanungkulan ho kayo bilang head ng Davao City Investment and Promotion Center, sino naman po ang nanunungkulan bilang mayor ng Davao City at that time?
The mayor at the time is Vice President Sara Duterte.
Okay. Nung time naman po na nanungkulan kayo bilang Chief of Staff, sino naman po ang nanunungkulan bilang mayor at the time?
It's the Vice President Sara Z. Duterte.
At huli, nung nanungkulan ho kayo noong 2008 onwards, sino naman po ang nanunungkulan? Or sino naman po ang nanunungkulan bilang Vice Mayor at that time?
The Vice Mayor at the time is Vice President Sara Z. Duterte.
Now, prior to 2008, saan ho kayo nanunungkulan o nagtatrabaho kung meron man?
Prior to 2008, I worked with a government-owned and controlled corporation, and I also worked at a local chamber of commerce.
Maaari niyo pong banggitin sa korte na ito kung saan po iyon, yung mga kumpanyang iyon?
My first working experience was with the Pag-ibig Fund. That was 4 years, and then I worked around about 4 to 6 months with the Davao City Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ortonio, in October 2024, ano naman po ang mga compulsory processes, if any, na natanggap ninyo mula sa House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability?
I was invited to appear before the committee hearings for the Committee on Good Governance.
At sa ano-ano mong petsa naman po kayo inimbitahang mag-appear?
As to the exact dates po, ma'am, I cannot remember anymore the exact dates. However, there were several invitations that were extended to me.
Okay, several invitations for several hearings.
Yes, that's correct.
Ano naman po ang naging tugon ninyo dun sa mga iba't ibang imbitasyon na yun?
One of the reasons there was that it's a mere invitation.
I'm sorry, Mr. Antonio, I have to cut you. Please just be responsive so as not to waste this honorable court's time. The question is merely, what was your response to those invitations for you to appear? You mentioned several. So what was your response?
The response was, I will not attend the hearings.
Okay, so that was your response. What, if any, judicial remedy did you seek against those invitations?
Sorry, ma'am. When you say judicial remedy, what do you
Judicial relief? Did you ask for injunctive relief against the compulsion or the invitation for you to attend the hearings mentioned in those invitations?
The reason, ma'am, was that it's a mere invitation.
Again, Mr. Antonio, I'm sorry, I don't want to be difficult, but again, let me just remind you to please be just responsive to the question. The question is simply, what judicial relief, if any, did you apply for in response to those invitations?
If I can remember, ma'am, none, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the subject matter of those hearings where you were invited, if you know?
It's regarding the confidential funds.
Okay. Now, Ms. Ortonio, what is your relation with Mr. Ernesto Nemenzo Ortonio Jr., who is the president and a member of the board of directors of PNX Udena Insurance Brokers Incorporated?
Your Honor, please.
Attorney Christine?
Relevance, Your Honor.
It is very much relevant, Your Honor, because this would prove that this witness and the respondent move in the same social circle. And this witness can practically become a social pariah if he speaks unfavorably of the respondent.
You're on a short leash, counsel. Go to your point. Objection is overruled.
So, Mr. Ortonio, just to repeat the question, what is your relation with Mr. Ernesto Nemenzo Ortonio Jr., who is the president and a member of the board of directors of PNX Udena Insurance Brokers Incorporated?
He is my father po.
Okay. At ano naman po ang relasyon ng PNX Udena Insurance Brokers Corporation sa Udena Management and Resources Corporation, which forms part of the Udena Group founded and controlled by Mr. Dennis A.
Your Honor, please.
Yes, Attorney Christine.
Again, relevance, Your Honor, to the confidential funds. And she's on short leash.
Your
Attorney
Honor,
Attorney
if I
May,
may just
is this
quickly
part
respond.
of trying to qualify Mr. Ortonio as a hostile witness?
Yes, Your Honor, this will establish that this witness has an adverse interest, Your Honor, in this case.
With your indulgence, as well as with the permission of counsels for the parties, I think it has been established that Mr. Ortonio serves at the pleasure of the Vice President, has been working for her for quite some time, and is serving up to now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ortonio.
That's
with the Vice
correct, Your
President.
Honor.
And that if the Vice President is impeached and therefore removed from office, pati kayo matatanggal po, di ba? Dahil coterminous kayo.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And that as far as we know, until today, you are still working with the Office of the Vice President and serving under that capacity, coterminous.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
To abbreviate the proceedings, the court declares Mr. Ortonio as a hostile witness based on his adverse interest vis-a-vis the respondent and the prosecution, and that therefore counsel Attorney May can ask leading questions, but again, pursuant to the rules, may not ask misleading questions. You may proceed, ma'am, accordingly.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ortonio, I am showing you a video footage of the hearing of the CGGPA on November 25, 2024. May I request, Your Honor, our assisting counsel who is stationed at the technical booth to play the said video footage.
Continuing authority has been granted to counsels. You may proceed accordingly, counsel.
Office of the Vice President, Mr. Lemuel G. Artonio, Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff, Ms. Winnie G. Dallego, Chief of
Thank
Public
you.
Assistance.
Okay. Mr. Ortonio, ano ang relasyon mo sa Lemuel G. Ortonio na nabanggit sa video na aming pinakita?
That's me po, ma'am.
Okay. At ano naman, at tama ba, kinukumpirma mo ba na ang event na recorded dyan sa video footage na yan ay ang hearing ng CGGPA noong November 25, 2024?
That's correct po.
At Mr. Ortonio, maaalala mo ba na sa hearing na yan, sinabi mo, and I quote, you provide overall supervision for the internal affairs of the Office of the Vice President, end of quote.
That's correct po.
At pinapatutuhanan mo rin ba na kasama ng supervision na yan, ang supervision sa Administrative and Financial Services Office at Strategy Management Office ng Office of the Vice President?
That's correct po.
Okay. Ngayon, Mr. Ortonio, tama bang sabihin ng Administrative and Financial Services Office, ito ang opisina sa Office of the Vice President na in charge sa pangkalahatang budget ng OVP?
That's correct po.
Kasama dito ang budget preparation,
That's correct.
budget disbursement, accounting, at liquidation.
That's correct.
And since you exercise supervision over this office, sa pangkalahatan, tama bang sabihin, or generally, walang pondo ng OVP ang hinihiling, nilalabas, ginagastos, o inililiquidate na wala sa inyong kaalaman at supervision? Tama ba? Generally, Mr. Ortonio.
Generally, yes.
Okay. Ngayon, ang Strategy Management Office naman, ito ang tanggapan ng OVP na nangangasiwa sa strategic planning, management, monitoring, evaluation, organizational development, at iba pang kaugnayan ng tungkuling pamamahala ng OVP. Tama ba?
That's correct.
So kasama dito ang pagbuo at pagsubaybay sa mga programa, proyekto at aktibidad ng OVP. Tama ba?
That's correct.
So ngayon, dahil sa iyong pag-amin, tama rin bang sabihin na bawat programa ng OVP ay dumadaan sa SMO?
For all the activities.
Yes. Okay. At dahil kayo ang nagsusuperbisa sa SMO, kayo rin ang nagsusuperbisa sa mga programa, proyekto at aktibidad nito. Tama ba?
General supervision po.
In short, or sa madaling salita, bawat programa ng OVP ay dumadaan sa inyong supervision ng 2 beses. Una, kapag ito ay pinaplano ng SMO, at pangalawa, kapag binabayaran ito ng AFSO. Tama ba?
Yes po.
At tama rin bang sabihin na ang mga direktor ng 2 opisinang ito ay nag-uulat din sa iyo? Tama ba?
That's correct po.
Also, tama rin bang sabihin na ang Vice President mismo ang nagtalaga sa inyo ng supervision over these 2 offices?
Yes, that's correct as part of the organizational structure.
Okay. At tama rin bang sabihin na kaugnay ng inyong supervision sa SMO at AFSO, ang anumang direktibang natatanggap ninyo ay sa huli nagmumula sa Vice President?
That's correct.
Okay. At tama rin ba na sa pagganap ng inyong mga tungkulin, sa huli kayo ay nasasaklawan ng mga direksyon at instruction ng Vice President?
That's correct.
In short, the official acts that you perform in the discharge of those responsibilities are done pursuant to the authority vested in you by the Vice President.
That's correct.
Now, pumunta naman tayo ngayon, Mr. Ortonio, sa sulat kung saan nagsimula ang lahat. Okay, so, Mr. Ortonio, you assumed your position you mentioned earlier as Assistant Secretary and Assistant Chief of Staff noon lamang July 1, 2022. Tama ba?
That's correct.
So that was mid-year.
Yes.
And you will confirm na pag-assume mo ng inyong position around that time, walang confidential fund ang Office of the Vice President. Tama ba?
That's correct po.
Which means na yung successor ni Vice President Sara Duterte na si Vice President Leni G. Robredo, walang confidential funds.
Your Honor, please.
Yes, Attorney Garcia.
No basis, Your Honor, and conclusion of fact.
Kindly clarify, Lenny is not the successor
Sorry,
counsel.
predecessor, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Exactly. So, kindly reform counsel.
Mr. Ortonio, do you confirm that Vice President Sara Duterte's predecessor, former Vice President Leni Robredo, Your Honor, Leni Robredo, she did not have confidential funds?
Your Honor, please.
Yes, counsel.
Incompetent. He's not a staff of Leni Robredo.
If he knows, if you know, Mr. Ortonio, you may answer. If you don't, you may answer so as well.
Based on the records that we have, there's no record of confidential funds.
Ito ang dahilan kung bakit humiling ng confidential funds ang OVP sa DBM. Tama ba? Noong 2022. Dahil wala kayong dinatnaan na confidential funds ng pag-upo mo kasama ng pag-upo ng Vice President Sara Duterte. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am.
And this request for confidential funds, ipinaabot ito sa DBM sa pamamagitan ng isang sulat. Tama ba?
Letter request.
Yes, letter request. Ngayon, I'm showing you Prosecution's Exhibit P-I-4-A dated August 22, 2022. Ito ang nabanggit mong letter request for confidential funds in 2022. Tama ba, Mr. Ortonio?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Sa huling pahina nitong sulat na ito, there appears a signature above the printed name, Sara Z. Duterte. You will confirm that this is the signature of the Vice President.
Yes, I can confirm that this is the signature of the Vice President.
Okay. And you're familiar with her signature, familiar ka sa signature niya dahil sa panunungkulan mo over almost 2 decades with her or under her, nakikita mo siyang pumirma ng mga dokumento at nakikita mo rin ang kanyang pirma sa iba't ibang dokumento. Tama ba?
Yes, that's correct.
And on the basis of this letter bearing her signature, tama bang sabihin na ang desisyon na mag-request ng confidential funds, it was the decision of the Vice President. Tama ba?
Yes, that's correct.
And throughout these proceedings, a certain name has been repeatedly mentioned, paulit-ulit na nabanggit, si Colonel Lachica. Kilala niyo siya, tama?
Yes, I know him. He's the
Okay.
group commander for VP-SPG.
You mentioned group commander of the SPG, but you will confirm, Mr. Ortonio, kukumpirmahin nyo na nung Agosto 22, 2022, hindi pa naitatalaga si Colonel Lachica bilang security officer ng OVP. Tama ba?
Yes, that's correct. He started September.
Okay. Yes, in fact, he started only on September 1, 2022. Tama ba?
Yes, based on documents.
Okay.